You're choosing where the light's coming from and where it falls, and therefore what it actually illuminates. But in the process, you're also choosing how and where your shadows fall and what shapes they take. This has an equally, if not more powerful impact on your image. So using lighting angles in film is not only choosing what is lit and what is not. It's about creating and defining shape and depth. It's about bringing out 3 dimensions on a 2-dimensional movie screen. There are innumerable variations and combinations of different lighting angles and how cinematographers use them. Eye contact is one of the strongest ways in which human beings connect. Take that away with a top light and suddenly a character becomes isolated from us and hard to read. The more and more we put into shadow, the more mysterious they become, and the more our imaginations are stirred to life, having to fill in the blanks. And there are so many shades in between. From the shadowy drama of a deep edge light to the romantic painterly effect of the 45-degree angle to the conflicting light and dark halves of a side light, we are showing the audience not only the inner conflicts and emotions of the characters on screen, but stirring the audience's own emotions in response, sometimes without them even realizing it.
How do certain colors contrast on screen to create depth, separation, and mood? You probably noticed some changes just then, right? Color in film is comprised of 3 main elements: the color or hue itself, the saturation or intensity of that, and the brightness, sometimes referred to as value or tone. Saturation is probably the most subjective part of modern filmmaking. We all have associations with color, memories, how we think about color. It's subjective. For example, green is a color in nature. It may evoke tension, or envy, or greed, or it may represent power of transition for a character. Whereas warm yellows and oranges may evoke emotion like comfort and home, love, tranquility.
Have side light, which is exactly what it sounds like, and it's a great way to create a dramatic image. Then if we move the light lamp left a bit, we get Rembrandt lighting. Sounds fancy, but it's pretty simple. Its name comes from a famous Dutch painter who did gorgeous low-key work and used this type of lighting in most of his work. And you can tell when you have it because you get this triangle under the eye like this. So if you start with your key on the side raised up a bit, then walk it over, eventually the light will make it past the nose and create this triangle. And you will see this angle of light everywhere in film. It's not always a perfect triangle. It will change depending on the angle of the light and the shape of the actor's face, but you get the idea.
So yeah, the idea to the simple approach here is you're finding what in your scene already exists lighting-wise, and you're dropping lights wherever you feel necessary or feel like you need to help motivate that light, to enhance that light onto your subject. So obviously lighting's not the easiest thing to figure out, but take the time to figure it out because it's what's going to separate you from all the other amateur cinematographers out there who don't take the time to learn it. So take what you have at home, test them out in different lighting situations, and learn how to use your lights in pretty much all situations you'd be faced with.